US President Donald Trump has announced a major new plan to protect America's supply of critical minerals. It's called Project Vault, and it comes with $12 billion in government and private funding. What's the goal? Basically, to make sure American companies never run out of the materials that they need to build cars, phones, chips, and weapons. Because right now, the US is vulnerable. Many of these minerals come from overseas, and China dominates the global supply of rare earths, lithium, nickel, all things needed to make electric vehicles, missile systems, and also high-tech manufacturing. Washington believes Beijing has been using that control to influence prices and squeeze competitors. Trump says that puts America at risk. To quote him, American businesses should never be harmed by shortages. So now the White House is building a reserve, much like the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, but for minerals.
Over the past year, my administration has taken extraordinary steps to make sure the United States has all of the critical minerals and rare earths that we need. We're investing in mining projects, we're expediting federal permitting. The federal permitting, and a lot of it is Lee Zeldin, who's been fantastic, but federal permitting is such a big deal, and we're doing that.
Let's just break this down for you. Project Vault will basically buy and store large amounts of materials in advance. So if the supply chains break or the markets crash, US companies will have a backup. The plan includes $10 billion in loans from the Export-Import Bank, plus $2 billion from private investors. Trading firms will handle the purchasing and storage, and the government will be overseeing the system. Officials are saying the target is a 60-day emergency supply, enough to keep factories running during a crisis. The announcement immediately moved markets. Shares of US mining companies jumped. Automakers and tech giants expressed support. For them, stable supplies mean lower risks and lower costs. Supporters are saying this was long overdue. You see, for years now, American miners struggled to compete with cheaper Chinese exports. Domestic production fell behind. Project Vault could change that. By guaranteeing buyers, the government may encourage more mining and refining at home. The announcement was made in the Oval Office in front of top industry leaders, including the General Motors CEO and a mining billionaire, reportedly. Their presence, reportedly, signaling a strong support from both producers and major users of critical minerals. The project has also drawn interest from a wide range of US auto and tech companies, in fact. Officials are saying stockpiling has already started. An executive structure is now being created, with the Export-Import Bank expected to hold a board seat. And this is not just a White House idea. Just for context here, last month, a bipartisan group of lawmakers introduced a legislation for a separate $2.5 billion mineral reserve, aimed at stabilizing prices and boosting domestic mining under Trump. And the US is shifting towards economic nationalism, less dependence on China, more domestic control, more America-first industrial policy, basically. We've seen it with tariffs in a way, with chip subsidies, with supply chain rules, and now with minerals. Project Vault is another front in that economic rivalry, especially as electric vehicles, AI, defense technology expand rapidly. The demand for these materials is only escalating, and countries that control the supply control power. Project Vault is still in its early stages. An executive structure is being set up. Procurement has already started, and the Congress is considering its own stockpile plan. Whether this works will depend on how it's managed and how the global markets respond. But one thing is clear: the battle over critical minerals is now a core part of US power, and America is digging in.